Oh my god. Today started out amazing. And then some weird ass shit happened and just like, oh my god, okay. I used to joke about not having any money before. I legitimately have 2 quarters. 50 fucking cents. I used up all my money and I don't even have a proper tank. I'll close the door before my grandma lectures me. I'm being too loud and weird and also on wasting my money. And just to show you how much my grandma cares, I was gone for over 4 hours and she didn't call until it started getting dark. Yeah, my grandma. Basically, did I tell you about my friend who said the tank cracked so she can't give me the tank? And I was like, okay, well then I can go buy a tank. I mean, I'm sure a starter kit can't be more than like the cheapest one. I was thinking like maybe like around $80, which was better be because I had like $80 that I had just gotten out from the fucking coin exchange thing, which was another thing, which was like like none of my friends were able to drive me anywhere, so I was like, okay, that's fine. I wasn't really expecting anyone to be able to because that's like out of your way and like a big nice thing to do, so I didn't really expect anyone to be able to do it. But I decided to try anyway because, like, why the fuck not? And also would have saved me an Uber trip. Ended up being 5 Uber trips. Anyways, so then I ended up calling Uber, and then the Uber went to Golden One. We had a nice, lovely conversation, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, yada, yada. And then I got there. And I called the lady previously to like ask if the coin exchange place was like open at that specific one. And she said, yeah, it works. I was like, okay, thank you. And so I went to that specific one on Santa Clara. And no, it was closed. I was like, well, fuck me. So I had to call an Uber like literally not even 2 minutes afterwards. And then get it to Walmart like a couple blocks over. Which, in all honesty, I could have walked there myself, but I was kind of like, this is an area I don't know. There were some suspicious looking people around me. Yeah, no. I passed. And so I got the Uber again, and we went to Walmart, and then I got the coin exchange, and I was really nervous because I was like, oh my god, I have like $80. Holy shit. Which I know is not that much money, but to me, it felt like a lot of money, and plus, like, that's a lot of money to have on cash, on hand. Like, no one carries cash anymore. It's credit cards. But I don't have a credit card because I'm a minor, so like, but, so I was kind of carrying around $80 in cash near Walmart, and I was just like, not good. And then I called Uber again, and guess what? It ended up being the same Uber that I used before to take me to the Walmart, and so he picked me up after to take me away from Walmart to this Serpentarium place, which was recommended to me by one of my friends who has a turtle. So I thought, yeah, this place is cool. But then I went there and the dude was like, oh, your turtles are ready or later. And then I was like, yeah. And he was like, this is the aquatic animal. We don't carry aquatic stuff here. And I was just like, but my friend recommended you. And he was like, what kind of turtle do you have? And I was just like, a tortoise. And he was like, well, there you go. And then I was like, okay. Thank you. Hi. I don't know. He wasn't really mean. He was just very professional and like brisk and like, I have other customers, like, move the fuck out of my store if you're not buying anything kind of thing. Which I get, but like he could have been a little bit more sympathetic. And then so I went to the aquatic store, and let me just tell you, this place was fucking huge. It had a huge section like that had like a bunch of various like aquatic animals. Like I'm talking stingrays and like other giant ass fish And then they had a little section with like guppies and other feeder fish. And then I was like, what the fuck? Like, this place is fucking huge. And then so I went to the tank area and I was like, holy shit, these are all like over $100. Which I kind of expected, but I thought, well, maybe the kit will be like slightly cheaper or something. It wasn't. And it was like $300. And I was like, boy, like, do you have anything less than $100? Like, it doesn't even have to be an actual tank. Like, I will take, like, one of those, like, little plastic ones, like, if you have them. And he was just like, nope, sorry. And then he was like, go on your merry way. And I was like, ugh. And so I thought that was it. And I was pissed off because I had been on wait, hold on. There was the one that went to the wrong Golden One. And there's the one that went to Walmart. Then there was the one that went to the Serpentarium. And there's the one that went to the Aquatic Center. So I'd been through 4 Ubers by then. And I was just like, boy, this isn't going to be a fucking waste of money. I'm mad. And so I was looking around in the clearance section like, bitch. And let me just say, I've never seen a clearance section that was over $10 until I went to their clearance section. Their clearance section had broken stuff. Like, literally, this light bulb I bought was $10 fucking dollars. And it was broken. And so, luckily, the dude tested the light bulb and was like, hey, this is broken. I'll give you this other one. And I was like, okay, thank you. And then he gave me the other one, which wasn't in the clearance section. And he ended up keeping my $20, even though it was a $10 light bulb. But because I'm a oblivious me, I was kind of in a hurry too because I called my Uber beforehand. So I was like, I gotta go get my Uber, like, bye. And then, so I didn't realize he took my 20 until like after, and I was just like, fuck. So that's like 8, 7, 6, 6. Like, I only had $60 left because I just wasted a fucking 20, and I was just like, even more money wasted, which was mainly due to my like impatient, like, stupidity, but still, I was mad. And then, so I got the fucking light bulb that was supposed to be $10, but he got a $10 additional fucking tip because I'm a dumbass. So I gave him $20. Like, fuck me. Like, and then I went to this Uber driver, and let me just say, this Uber driver was weird. Like, usually Uber drivers, like, they're a little stiff when you first talk to them because they're like, I don't know, like, maybe they're not used to it. I don't know. But they're a little stiff, or maybe they're, like, afraid of offending you or getting a bad rating. I don't know. But, so sometimes Uber drivers, like, don't talk that much, or sometimes they're, like, way into doggy and they talk a lot. Which is nice, because I like continuing conversation, blah, blah, blah. And then, but this Uber was the first Uber that I've met that, like, literally, like, maybe the entire ride said 10 words. Maybe 12. Like, he spoke, but, like, it was, like, short sentences, not very much, and, like, it was weird, and I was just like, okay. Like, I mean, I get it if you don't want to talk, but still, I was like, whatever. I did get him to laugh a couple times, which was a personal, like, thank you. Like, he's not a fucking stone angel. I mean, like a, what are they called? Mannequin? Because he was very, like, I don't know, stone-faced. I mean, he was nice and polite. He was just, like, it was just weird how quiet it was, and I don't know. I just, like, when you're with a stranger and it's, like, completely quiet, like, you kind of want to make conversation. Like, I'm totally fine with comfortable quiet. Like, if you know someone well enough to, like, be comfortable being quiet with them, then, like, I'm all for that. But, like, when you're with a stranger and you're, like, quiet because, like, you're awkward, like, I don't like that. So I like making a conversation and stuff. And I kept trying to make conversation with him, and he just kept being like, or, like, short little answers, and I would just be like, what? Okay, and then I got off, which originally, he was going to take me home because I was just fed up. I was like, I'm done shopping. I hate shopping. Like, you've heard me say it a million times. I fucking hate shopping. But I kept pursuing it because I was like, I need to have a home for my turtle. I can't have him living in the fucking bathtub. Like, it's not good for him. Like, it's not okay. And so, what I got for him is not much better, though. I'm, like, so guilty. And I'm just like, fuck me. Like, just like, I'm just mad at myself. Because I thought I could take care of him. I thought I could afford him, and I can't. Because, like, the, like, majority of the cost of a turtle is, like, the supplies. And I thought I could afford the supplies because I thought the tank was coming. But the tank was broken. Ended up being broken, so I couldn't take care of it. So I was like, okay, whatever. It's not that big of a deal, or so I thought. But then the tank is just, like, so expensive. I'm just like, fuck me. Anyways, so the last Uber that I took, or what I thought was going to be my last Uber, I thought he was going to take me home from the stupid aquarium, aquarium depot, whatever that place was, the aquatics, like, store. And that was outrageously expensive, and the people were rude as fuck, let me just say. And, so, like, anyways, so he was gonna take me home, but then my friend called me and was asking if I could afford cookies, like Girl Scout cookies, and I was like, girl, I don't have money. And she was like, yes, you do. And I was like, no, like, legitimately, I have no money. Like, I'm, like, going to spend it all on my turtle. Like, I know it's not good or whatever, but, like, I'm spending it all on my turtle. Like, there's no debate. Like, I'm sorry, but, like, I can't afford your fucking cookies. I need to take care of my turtle, okay? And she was like, okay, but did you, and then I told her, like, about how, like, I went through all that shit. And then she was like, okay, well, did you go to, the place that I talked to you about? And I was like, what place? And she was like, there's this pet store that carries, like, turtle stuff, and it's, like, really cheap. And I was like, really? And then she's like, yeah, it's in Rio Linda. And then she told me it, and then I, like, looked it up, and I was like, wow, this is nice. And then so I went there, and he took me there, but he was, like, Mr. Stoic, like, Mr. Quiet as fuck, Mr. And so, and so it was kind of awkward the entire ride there, but then he finally dropped me off, and I was like, thank you for the ride, blah, blah, blah. And then, and so I went in the store, and, like, I was looking around, and let me just say, I saw rats, and I was just like, ew, bite! Like, ew, I hate rats. Like, who the fuck wants a rat as a pet? Like, that's disgusting. Mice, I can kind of understand. They're, like, the, like, store-bought mice are, like, really tiny and, like, kind of cute. But rats? Fuck that. No. Like, unless you're feeding it to your snake, which I would gladly watch, because I fucking hate rats. But, no, not as a pet. Anyway, so I passed those and was like, veer to the left, as far away from the rats as possible. And then I found the aquatic section, which was, like, not that big, to be honest. And then I found, like, the only tanks that they had were fish tanks. And they were only 10 gallons. And I was just like, I'm desperate, okay? This is, like, what, my 5th stop. I was, like, fed up. I was like, I'm not leaving here without a fucking tank. I don't care how tiny it is. Like, it needs a tank. So, I got the tank. And it was, like, $57... $8, but because I didn't have the fucking, it ended up being over that. It was, like, 61, which I didn't have an extra dollar, and she's like, I don't know what she did, but she cut it down, and ended up being just, like, $56, and I was like, thank you so much, like, you're, like, an angel, like, my God. And she was so nice and sympathetic, and I was like, girl, you've been what I've been waiting for. Like, after all of these rude-ass professional people, like, I finally get someone who's, like, genuinely nice and, like, a good fucking person. Like, I almost gave her a hug. Like, that's how happy I was. And then they were just closing, too. And then so I was waiting outside, and this dude, like, came out, and he was like, hey, you okay? And I was like, yeah, I'm okay. And then, and then he was like, what are you doing? And I was like, I'm waiting for my Uber. And he was like, oh, well, we're closed. And he's like, I'm just going to close everything up. It's like, okay. And then, like, he was like, I don't want to leave you out here by yourself, so you want to go out back? And I was like, okay, sure. And then, so we were, like, waiting out back, and I was, like, telling him my story, and he was like, oh, that's really sad, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, you're, like, he was, like, so nice. And I was just like, oh, my God, like, these nice people, like, I need to move to Rio Linda. Like, fuck this. Oh my god. And um and he was like super nice or whatever. And then my Uber came and I was like, thank you. And I was like so grateful and like relieved and done with like life by that point. I was just like, thank you. And then I hugged him and I like literally like legitimately hugged this stranger who I like knew for like maybe like 30 minutes. Because I was just so happy. I was like, oh my god, you're here. And like it was oh, it was bad. I was just so happy. I was like, bye! Like, thank you for waiting. Bye! Like, I'm so done with stores. I'm so done with, like, I was so done. And, like, oof, yeah. I was just so done. And I was just, like, telling the Uber rider about it. And he was like, oh, I'm sorry. He said, I used to have a red eared slider. And I was like, really? And he was like, yeah. And he said, that he had it when he was like 13 or something, and like he got the tank at like a thrift store. And I was just like, boy, like, how come I didn't think of that? Like, boy, like, that's crazy. How come I did not think of that at all? Like, I thought about Craigslist, but I was already driving by that point. So I was just like, oh shit, I could have done Craigslist earlier, but like, I technically already thought of Craigslist, but then I was like, I don't have, like, the patience to wait for a tank and have him sit in the bathtub for that long. Like, I don't know. So, like, I don't know. And then he said that, like, he got his at a thrift store. And I was like, boy, if you had been my Uber for, like, 2 Ubers ago, I would have, like, loved you. Like, really, like, he was just, like, he was, like, my favorite Uber by far. Like, out of all, like, let's see. Let's see how much money I fucking wasted here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not even including the 2 canceled Ubers that I had. Because one of them, I think one of them, like, it was only one Uber that I canceled, but, like, one Uber, like, came, but then, like, for some reason, Uber put, like, my, like, location where he's supposed to pick me up as the aquatic center that I was at before, and I was just like, no, boy, that's not where I'm at. And then, I had to fix it, but by that time, like, the dude was already there, and I was like, I just had to, like, apologize and be like, I'm sorry, I don't know, like, maybe it's my fault, maybe it's Uber's fault, but, like, I'm sorry, I'm not there. And he's like, oh, okay. And then I had to reschedule an Uber, which didn't cost me any money, but, like, still. So technically, I ordered 6 Ubers, like, which just, like, fuck. But, like, the last Uber was by far my favorite because he was just funny and he's, like, super nice and, like, actually, like, concerned and, like, wasn't lecturing me on the fucking turtle because, like, no idea how many people have lectured me on the turtle, and I know that it's not ideal, okay? I know that a 10-gallon tank for, like, a 2-year-old turtle is not good, okay? I know it's not good for it, but it's better than fucking nothing. And it's swimming around happily. And it has a little basking area. Sure, I have to pick it up to put it in the basking area, but I mean, it has a basking area. And I need to get a heating bulb tomorrow. Because I bought a UVB bulb, but I don't have a heating bulb yet. But I'm going to get one tomorrow, and then hopefully I can install it. Yeah, I'm going to install it, and then it's, like, the best I can do. And then maybe I can, like, find some, like, kind of bridge thing to try and connect it. And then, like, I'll have, like, my little makeshift tank. And then by the time, like, when, like, I can afford to get, like, an actual, like, real, like, good ass tank for my turtle, then I will, but as of right now I can't. But I'm doing the best that I can, okay? I, like, started the whole trip at, like, 3, which was around the time that I got home from school, and that was only after I got my turtle out of its little container, and, like, had it in the water and had it have its, like, little water time, and then even took it outside and let it walk around outside on my porch, and I was like making sure it was okay and like happy and comfortable. And then after that, I was like, okay, I need to get a tank now because I need to take care of my turtle more because bathtub is not ideal. And then that's when I went to get it, and that was like 3 p.m. I haven't even fucking done my homework. This has all been for my turtle, so I'm trying my fucking hardest. But I'm just a 16-year-old girl who can't fucking drive yet, A, and B, doesn't even have a fucking job. So, I mean, she's trying her hardest, okay? And, like, I love my turtle, okay? I'm not gonna give it up. I'm just gonna, like, try and, like, make the best that I can out of it. And if it has, like, any signs of distress, or, like, if I get it sick or anything, I will, like, if I get it sick, obviously I'm gonna take it to the vet. Or, like, if it shows any signs of distress, and, like, it's because of how I'm, like, taking care of it or treating it, even though I have no, like, ill will, if, like, I'm doing anything to, like, harm the turtle, then I will give it away. But as of now, he seems okay. So, like, until then, I'm not gonna get rid of him. And I'm gonna try my hardest to, like, buy as much as I possibly can to make him as comfortable as possible. Okay? Maybe it was not a good idea for me to buy a fucking turtle, but I got him. Okay? And I don't want to get rid of him. I love him. Okay? And, like, so I'm just trying to make the best of it, okay? So, like, please don't lecture me on this. Like, I know, okay? I know everything that I'm doing wrong, and I'm trying my hardest to fix it. But it's very hard when you can't really afford to fix it. But I'm trying, okay? This is why I would never be a good fucking mother to, like, an actual child. Because he could be starving, and I'll be like, I'm trying my hardest. Like my mom fucking did to me. So, yeah, no. Yeah, well, my mom didn't really try her hardest. Towards the end, she didn't. But that wasn't her fault. That was her mental illness. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah. So that's it. I'm just fed up. And I actually had, like, we learned about something to do with, like, oil and stuff, and, like, it was gonna be a good-ass rant, and it would have been, like, an amazing thing, but then the turtle fucking happened, which I don't regret. I'm just upset that it took so long, and that it's still not, like, the best that I could do for my turtle, because I want to spoil my turtle. I want to make it the happiest turtle in the fucking world. I just can't afford to fucking do that, but I'm trying. So, you gotta give me some credit, please. I'm done. Bye.